we have to stand up here in solidarity. We have to join our hands. Together we can move mountains. Let's join hands to save Zimbabwe. This time around, gentlemen, if we let us forgive each other. I want to appeal to the opposition as to our comrades. The opposition is in this state because of our differences, our internal fights. Please, let bygones be bygones. I, as an individual, I understood the leadership of the late President Morgen. President Morgen sustained the opposition politics in Zimbabwe for 18 years. At no stage did we experience the demise of the opposition politics in Zimbabwe to an extent where we are today. That is actually deep progress. It's not progress as such. That's the reverse of progress, actually. To put a measurement at a national level in a country of 16 million people to say the president is doing good job, so he must go to 2030 and finish the projects. Which means if we then reach 2030 before projects are finished and is still doing a good job, we will go to 2040.
Point 5 Creative Studios. Feel the story.
They know the story.
Like Souls, Mind 5 Creative Studios.
I'm now recording. Greetings, good people, and welcome to Point 5 Creative Studios, your favorite platform on YouTube. Manje. My name is DJ Holly, ndinokuchingamidza imese kumativi mana enyika kwese kwamuri. Ndisingatambise nguva, today I've got a special guest that needs no introduction, but so vatitsika pa platform for the first time. I will let him introduce himself because pamwe pacho unozosirira tumwe tudobi then munozoti iwe wakandintroduce series handichadzokere futi kuplatform kwako. Saka Mr. Morgen Komichi, you can get the mic and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, my brother. The fact that you've already mentioned my name is correct. My name is Morgen Komichi, who is a veteran in the opposition politics, involved in the struggle from 1999 under MDC, led by Komichi Tsvangirai, till his death. We fought wars and wars to bring positive change in Zimbabwe to where we are today. I think we need to make sure that what we started does not die. We need to make sure that we converge as opposition forces to revive the democratic struggle. For now, definitely, I would like to say the mass democratic struggle in Zimbabwe is very weak. Something must be done to revive the mass democratic struggle. We are here as people. We had our past. We made various mistakes as leaders. I believe we have to save the national interest. We have to put the people first. We have to re-engage as leaders to make sure that we restart the democratic struggle. I think for now, let me stop there.
Right, Ayo, thank you very much for that introduction. I have a question. How does it feel, or how was the feeling working with someone like the late, may his soul continue to rest in peace, the late Morgen Tsvangirai? How was the feeling? How was the atmosphere at the camp?
Thank you so much. You've asked a very, very, very important question. I, as an individual, I understood the leadership of the late President Morgen Tsvangirai. President Morgen Tsvangirai sustained the opposition politics in Zimbabwe for 18 years. At no stage did we experience the demise of the opposition politics in Zimbabwe to an extent where we are today. President Morgen Tsvangirai led the opposition when ZANU-PF was very ruthless. And along the way, he also had his own challenges. Remember the 2005 split of MDC, the 2014 split of MDC. But the MDC never lost the mojo, never went to a point where people felt dejected, which shows that President Morgen Tsvangirai had the capacity, the capability, the drive to sustain the opposition movement. To me, the gentleman was a great leader. He had the heart to unify people. He had the drive to challenge ZANU-PF. And he tried as much as possible to keep the opposition people together. He then demonstrated that aspect in 2014 when he started saying, I want to engage with my erstwhile friends, such as Professor Wesmin, Advocate Tendai Biti, Advocate Job Sikala. He called us and we sat down and we were tasked to engage them. We approached church leaders to assist us in the process. We approached the civil society organizations to assist us in the process to engage. And before President Morgen Tsvangirai died, he had reconnected, reunited with his erstwhile friends. And it had a positive impact on the elections of 2018. Remember, on record, MDC from 1999, it was always getting around 1.2, 1.3 million voters in all these elections. But because of the unification of the opposition cadres, such as Vana Professor Nguvenana Advocate Tendai Biti and others, the election vote rose from 1.2 million to 2.1 million. All that was the vision and the effort of the late President Morgen Tsvangirai. I personally miss him. I personally admire his leadership. And I would wish if we could go back there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Moving forward, you said you saw the impact on 2018 elections in the increase of numbers, in sense of the increase of the numbers. What does that teach you? When the team was together as an alliance, the numbers increased. What lesson did you took from there?
Thank you so much. While is the parties, the people from Professor Wesmin were not many in terms of my activists. And also, while the people from Tendai Biti's party were not many in terms of activists, as well as Jacob Ngarivume and the others were not in majority, were not many. They had no many members as activists or as political parties. But the coming together of those leaders, when they stood before the nation, President Morgen Tsvangirai, Tendai Biti, Wesmin Mncube, Jacob Ngarivume, Zimbabwe People First, Mutambara, and so forth. The nation got the hope. They were convinced that now that people are united, they were going to win the elections. It was this feeling of togetherness which drove the masses of Zimbabwe to vote in their millions. Do you know, in politics, they say the people that go for rallies, people who put on T-shirts, like what I'm doing right now, People who talk much about politics are at most 30% of any population. 30% of any population. So the biggest political party would get the majority of the 30%. But the 70% are those people who do not want to be activists, who do not want to put on t-shirts, who do not want to march, to run, or to demonstrate. They don't want to do that. But there are people in a nation that do vote, 70%. So when the alliance was then formed, it gave the confidence in the 70% population. And the 70% came out in their numbers to vote for the alliance part. So this is what we must always know as leaders. You can work as an individual, but people in general want the opposition people to be united. Naturally, that's what people want. Evidence is what happened in 2018. So we need to go back there and say, what can we do to give the people of Zimbabwe the confidence that we can be united as opposition and we can do it again?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, without wasting much of your time, let's get into the burning issue. Nyaya iri kunetsa zvamanje manje anzi cab 3. I want to ask you a yes or no question, and then we move on. What's your take on the cab 3? Are you for it or against it, or is it a yes or a no, I'm against it question, or I'm for it question?
I am 100% against cab 3. I don't want it at all.
Right, moving forward. Why are you against cab 3? Because ZANU-PF, they are saying President Mnangagwa vari kugona kutonga is ruling the country nicely and perfectly. So we want him to finish all his projects that he started until 2030. So why are you against progress?
That is actually the progress. It's not progress as such. That's the reverse of progress, actually. To put a measurement at a national level in a country of 16 million people to say the president is doing good job, so he must go to 2030 and finish the projects. Which means if we then reach 2030 before projects are finished and is still doing a good job, we will go to 2040. Which means if we reach 2040 and the projects are not yet finished and is doing a good job, you will go to 2050. That's a wrong assumption. That's the wrong mentality. That's wrong thinking. It's outdated thinking to say that. We are assuming that Mnangagwa is the only brilliant person in Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa is the only saint in Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa is the only person who can save the people of Zimbabwe, the people's Zimbabwe issues. It's not true. That thinking on its own is bad and it must not be entertained. We must, as people, know kuti chimuti chinopasirwana. Takaisa mitemo ye 5 2 terms, ye 5 years 2 terms for a purpose yokuti atichadazve futi zvama long distance leaders. Because in the process of a long distance leader, panoitwa mistakes mahombe anoparadza nyika, anoparadza kugara kwevanhu. We went for a struggle. We didn't just get the 2013 constitution from a silver platter. The opposition movement fought the ruling party on the street, in parliament, all over, social media, demanding the new constitution. Remember, in 2006, 2007, 2008, opposition people were on the street demanding the new constitution. And people then had to settle down in 2009 and form the government of national unity. It didn't come on the silver platter as well. People died for it. people fought for it. And the objectives of the demonstrations of 2007, 2008, 2009, 2006 were very clear. There were 4 objectives of the mass democratic struggle that we waged in 2006. The first objective was, because of the poverty, the extent at which Zimbabwe had suffered, the way we had gone through economically, we demanded a government of national unity. That was the objective. Out of negotiation between President Morgen Tsvangirai and Robert Mugabe. The other objective was that when we have a government of national unity, we will push for the writing of the new constitution. And the fourth objective was, we would defeat ZANU-PF in a free and fair election. When I got arrested in 2007 and tortured heavily by the CID at Harare Central Police Station, I wrote the document which I said to the CID officer who was there, go and give Mugabe these things. That is why I'm commanding the demonstrations in Zimbabwe. That's why I'm resisting ZANU-PF right now. And I signed the document which went to Mugabe with the 4 objectives. And throughout the process, the GNU government, the constitution was written. And in 2013, more than 94% of the Zimbabweans voted for it. The constitution was a milestone towards democracy, a milestone towards good governance, a milestone towards good human rights, a milestone which instead of reversing it, was supposed to implementing it, aligning it with the acts of parliament. If you look at it, ZANU-PF currently identified those central strategic areas of the constitution, 21 of them. They picked from the 2013 constitution, and they reversed all of them. The moving away from the 2 terms of 10 years. They are now going to 14 years, 2 terms, 14 years, elongating the life of the presidents. They are pushing things like vakuda kuti madzishe kumaruzevha wako vaite maZANU-PF activists. Just imagine the day that constitution becomes law, when Daniel Garo himself is in charge of the chiefs. Do you see the abuse of the role of people by traditional leaders? Do you sympathize with those people? Will they be able to vote freely? They will not have. We fought for the Registrar General's office not to be in charge of the voters' roll. We fought for the independent commissions, and others. Today, we have the voters' roll being removed from the perceived independent commission to an executive office which reports directly to the Minister of Home Affairs. Do you see democracy taking place there? Do you see fairness taking place there? We are aware during Mudede's time, my voters who were perceived to be in opposition strongholds, they were being de-enfranchised, thrown all over the country. And the seats of the opposition people were reduced by that tactic. The number of voters in an area determines the number of seats that are there in that area. The Registrar General was playing mathematics, playing with numbers. The Delimitation Commission was under an executive committee again, which was reporting to the minister directly. And they were gerrymandering seats to make sure that they reduce the seats of the opposition people, fraternity. They are removing again that function from ZEC. That on its own is criminal. It's unacceptable. It's anti-democracy. And if you look throughout all other amendments, they are all reversing the gains of the people. So there's nothing to do with does it mean if you make a traditional leader an activist, with ZANU-PF. That will aid Mnangagwa. Does it mean if you transfer the voters from ZEC to an executive office, it would aid Mnangagwa? But nothing to do with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa just used as a scapegoat. Mnangagwa has done his part. He took the party Mugabe in 2017. He went through his 2 terms. It's enough. Whatever he should hand over to another leader. If the leader comes from ZANU, can I win an election? This was. If the leader comes from the opposition, can I win an election? This was. Instead, right now, we're supposed to be implementing to align the aspects of the constitution into acts of law, of parliament. ZANU-PF has been deliberately refusing to align the constitution with the acts of parliament. The Minister of Justice has failed to bring bills to align the constitution. Instead of aligning the constitution, they are sitting over a table to reverse 21 aspects of the constitution. That's irritating. That's dangerous. Yeah, they are creating unnecessary tension in the country. Right now in Zimbabwe, we are grouped in 2 groups. More than 80% of the people are rejecting the constitution, the amendment Cap 3. Only 20% of the people are taking advantage of the media, because they got monies, Zigananda, they got monies to push for the change of this document. If they were really genuine that they wanted to have the constitution amended, why are they playing games around the referendum? They are trying to redefine the constitution, lying to the people of Zimbabwe. Kuti constitution haidi hazvidi referendum kuchinja term. They are redefining the term extension. The term extension means any hour after 2 terms or 5 years is an extension. Any day after 2 terms of 5 years, each per term is an extension. Here we're talking of 2 years extra. That's an extension. It requires the people of Zimbabwe to decide. All those things are serious. If the extension is done in any form, the incumbent will not benefit. Here we want Mnangagwa to benefit from the term extension. Why are we complicating things for nothing? Why are we putting our country in danger? Why are we promoting tension among ourselves? We thought we were on the path of democracy. We were on the path of appreciating that we must work as Zimbabweans. We need to talk about unity of the nation. We need to focus on the economy of the nation. Other than that, we're promoting tensions, fights, unnecessary conflict in the country. So I don't agree with the saying which says, we cannot rely on the intelligence or brilliance of one person to compromise the people's constitution. That constitution by natural death. So the one unopinda epapo futi atingagoni manje basa racho iro. Kana munhu ari dictator, munhu akaipa akashata moyo. And that person will rule us for the next 7 years. Or rule us for the next 14 years. Are we thinking with our right minds? I don't think so. So CAP 3 must be rejected in totality. CAP 3 must not be entertained. CAP 3 must not see the light of the day. Right now, I call to the power of the heavens. If they can drop the almighty power to come and save the people of Zimbabwe, I'll be the most happiest person on earth. If God would do his miracles, I don't support CAP 3. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. And moving forward, before we close, we have seen a lot of people saying no to CAP 3. We have heard a lot of organizations, a lot of opposition members, everyone, they are saying no to CAP 3. But we haven't seen one opposition or one leader or someone coming up with a tangible plan. What's the way forward if we are saying no to CAB 3? What must be done, or what must be done by Zimbabweans to reject this?
Thank you so much, my brother, for asking that very important question. We are failing to have an impact on these things simply because we are not united. Tose tine shungu dzokuti deno CAB 3 yastopa yamira, but because of our disintegration, the effort hazvinyazo kuonekwa into the impact yacho. And it you say, I'm putting on a t-shirt here. This t-shirt is written no to CAB 3. That's an effort. But we are not, I'm saying we are not enough in terms of the numbers. There are also other guys that are in CDF who are trying to do something. They are not enough. There are people that are in DCP who are doing something. They are not enough. There are people that are in NCA who are trying to do something. They are not enough. There are students, university students who are trying to do something. They are not enough. To me, the answer is to have a united opposition. United opposition for this particular agenda. It's not uniting to form a one part. It's uniting to put our energy together, to put our collective energy to resist this CAB thing. The concept is very simple. Ndikanonga tsanga yejecha 1 cent, ndikakurova nayo, you won't feel anything. But ndikatora tutsanga twejecha takawanda, ndikatumixa nedhaka, ndikakurova nedombo racho, unodonhera pasi. That's the concept we're supposed to be applying right now. United opposition is a platform that we're calling for the people to come unconditionally. As long as we understand each other, and as far as CAB 3 is concerned, we are comrades. We must work together. Let us all come together. I have been calling on all opposition leaders to unite unconditionally so that we can establish a strong opposition movement to reject CAB 3. And I've approached all those leaders that you know in Zimbabwe one by one. And I am still crying. I am bleeding. Time is running out. We need each other to come through. Right now, we've established a group called United Opposition. And we are saying, everyone, let us discuss and talk. Let us plan and execute our actions to stop this CAB 3. I am doing that. We are doing that with other people. And we're inviting everyone from all over the world, wherever a Zimbabwean is, in Zimbabwe, in diaspora. We need to put our heads together. It's not a political party, ladies and gentlemen. Komichi is not a president of that united organization. He's a participant, and everyone is supposed to come to become a participant. Let us focus ourselves on rejecting CAB 3, because we will save the people of Zimbabwe of today and the future. We will save the coming generation. Because if we allow CAB 3 to pass, tadzokera to 1980, tadzokera to 2000 to 1985, to 2000 to 2000, before 2000 and so forth. And we can't afford that. We have to stand up here in solidarity. We have to join our hands. Together we can move mountains. Let's join hands to save Zimbabwe. This time around, gentlemen, if we let us forgive each other. I want to appeal to the opposition as to our comrades. The opposition is in this state because of our differences, our internal fights. Please, let bygones be bygones. Our individual bitterness should not sacrifice the national interest. Let us manage our individual bitterness where possible. Let us engage each other and talk Let's negotiate over those issues. If you feel Komichi wronged you here, if I feel Chamisa wronged me here, this is the right time for people to engage each other and say, my brother, let us save the people of Zimbabwe. My brother Tendai Biti, let us save the people of Zimbabwe. My brother Welshman Ngube, let us save the people of Zimbabwe. Our differences are not important for now. What we are faced with, CAP 3, is an enormous enemy which will destroy us and the future of Zimbabwe. This is the time for us to reconcile. This is the time for us to unite. This is the time for us to forgive each other. This is the time for us to show leadership. Leadership is shown by the capacity and the ability to forgive, the ability to identify the national interest, the ability to put the people first. That's leadership. If we fail in those areas, we don't deserve to be called leaders, because the people of Zimbabwe need us right now. And let us please engage each other. That's my appeal to my esteemed friends. I'm ready to work with anyone who is against CAP 3. I'm not selective in whatsoever. I want everyone who is against CAP 3, let us shake hands. Let us hold hands to defend our people of the people of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How has been the journey trying to reconcile with your fellow brothers that you once worked with? How are they taking it?
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, it's not easy for people who have had nasty differences, because in our wars from the time after the death of Tsvangirai, we differed on so many issues. And in the battle, there are individuals who felt quite hurt, such as Marie Cause. You know, someone either a member of parliament, either councillor, then Omuka Mangwana Chinzi, you are no longer a member of parliament. It personally hurts that individual and the family. It's my name. And there are many people who suffered through that action. That did not stop. Even after MDC, when the Triple C was then established, hardly 1 month after the 23 elections, another split happened within Triple C. And many people suffered a lot. Some who felt that they were recalled unfairly, some who felt strongly that they were disenfranchised as far as their positions in the party were concerned. So we have quite an emotional challenge that is there in some of the leaders in the general public. So I started talking about unity of the opposition movement 5 years ago. I wrote on the social media, Facebook, my tweet, Endo, Express. I wrote quite a lot, extensively, intensively. After doing that, the second step that I took was to approach leaders. I can confidently say I've approached all of them. But here, I must appreciate that I'm approaching somebody who is very bitter. And I'm asking that person to reunite with the person whom he thinks was the cause of the state of the state of politics that he is today. To him is an enemy, or to her it's an enemy. So it's a big challenge. What I'm saying, what is unity in simple terms? Is the coming together of the people who had the past, who fought, who killed each other, who hated each other. When you then sit down and talk over those things that caused you to split, when you agree on the way forward, that's unity. Unity is not a process taken by people who love each other or who admire each other. Unity is basically a process where people have fought each other before and they realize that they need to save the national interest. Just like what happened during the armed struggle, the liberation struggle of Zimbabwe. The ZANU, ZAPU, Ian Douglas Smith, them Zorewas sat down in the Lancaster House negotiation. They had killed each other in Zambia, in Mozambique, in Tanzania, in Botswana, in Zimbabwe. Here, many people died and perished during the war of struggle. But in 1979, they looked at the national interest, the freedom, independence of the country. An agreement was reached, Lancaster agreement was reached, and a government of national unity was formed in 1980. We did not breathe. We had Gugura Hundi. 20,000 people perished. The late Joshua Nkomo, being the ZAP president, went through hard times. But around 1986, a unity was initiated. The talks were initiated. With the 20,000 people dead behind the late Joshua Nkomo, in 1987, a unity accord was signed. And the people of Matabele enjoy some semblance of peace. In 2008, 2006, 2007, 2008, MDC embarked on the mass democratic struggle, which I was the leader myself. The commander-in-chief of that operation was in my office. We executed it. We were arrested. Personally, I was tortured. I almost died. I was hospitalized for 7 months. And our people in the raw areas were murdered. Some women were raped. Young people were arrested. Homes were burnt. When we went for election in 2008, we defeated ZANU-PF by 73.8%. ZANU-PF got 23%. And they forced a runoff where the military commanders were deployed throughout the whole country. And violence was systematically executed in all parts of the country. Many people were killed. But in 2009, a dialogue was initiated. A unity was reached. And the government of unity, the GNU was established. That's all about leadership. So when I'm talking about the unity, I've got this background knowledge that I have. When I look at Zvatakaitirana, yes, it's not Wadza. Very few people died in stress, 1 or 2. I also know 2 people who have died in stress, 1 during MDC recalls, 1 during CCC recalls. But the pain is the pain. That is what is most important. I must appreciate that pain is the pain. But we're saying the national interests are more important than what we're feeling. Saving Zimbabwe is more important than what I'm feeling. Saving the future of our generation is more important than what I'm feeling today.